Jason, I know you kind of evaluate each player as they come along, but it would seem that maybe one of the emphasis, just looking at your draft, might have been speed. You know, you always want speed, right? But a lot of these guys, man, can really run.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to get faster. We wanted guys that played with big heart. In the case of Grant, played with big hair, don't care. And you know, a lot of energy and, you know, love football, you know, kind of the common theme. But we, you know, as Bruce, I think, told you guys last night, we wanted to stress special teams. So that was one area we wanted to upgrade. So we feel pretty good about what we've done.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go over to Greg Allman.
Hey, Jason, in particular with Darden, just want to ask you what you like there. Obviously, the speed stands out and obviously can help you in the return game potentially.
Yeah, he's got great hands. It's one of the things when we were watching him, and I was watching with Bruce. He loves the hands, loves the ability to track the ball and catch the ball away from his body, but he has just great quickness. He's very fast, but he's actually quicker than fast. So he can really put his foot in the ground and explode out of his breaks. And you know, he's got great rack, and then he's also, we think he's going to be has a chance to be a very good returner.
Thanks, Jason.
We'll go to Jenna Lane.
Jason, I know that every year you tend to have kind of a favorite story, and there's some really compelling ones in this draft class, but Grant Stewart in particular had a really tough background. You know, I don't know how much you guys talked about that, or, you know, how much you can share with us about just everything that this guy has had to overcome.
Well, we love him as a person, and obviously as a player. I think he's got a lot of emotion on the field. He's had a little bit of a tough life. He's been taking care of his siblings. You know, all these things you can talk to him about, but he's a very mature person and very accountable person, and a very accountable football player, and guys that can deal and get through tough times and adversity are guys that's a big box to check for us. We think that, you know, definitely helps them and their chance to make our football team.
He seems like he was a special teams rock star in college and has the ability to do that in the NFL. There were concerns I read about his ability in coverage, but again, those are draft analysts. We ask you guys the questions because you guys are the experts. So what is your assessment of where he needs to improve at the next level?
Well, we love the way he plays. We think he's fast. We think he's very physical and very tough. He reminds me, this is going way back, I was with the Dolphins when we signed Larry Izzo out of Rice as an undersized linebacker that played with a huge heart, and he ended up making a great career for himself as a special teams linebacker. Not to say that we don't think Grant has a chance to play linebacker. He's going to be a Mo for us on the field, but we think that he's got a chance to really excel as a special teams ace.
Thank you.
We'll go over to Steve Isbitz.
Hey, Jason, speaking to this unique offseason, how many of these draft picks did you actually get to see play or work out personally?
Well, myself, not all of them. So it was a little bit of a different offseason, shortened. I had to watch the tape of the workouts, but I rely on my scouts and my staff. We think that they do a phenomenal job. We were pretty busy this year signing all of our guys back. I wasn't able to get out as much, but we wanted to make sure that we had somebody at all of these pro days covering it for us, which is just as good for, in my opinion, as me being there, because I have so much trust in our staff.
And KJ Britt, is he somebody who you did get to see going farther back, scouting Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean and through that process?
He did, but not somebody we're focused on at that point, because, you know, he wasn't, planning on coming out, and they had a lot of players that you had to watch. But, and he didn't play much this year. He only played in 2 games. But we love the way that he plays as well. He's got you can just hit. It's the same thing as what we've talked about with Grant. Just plays with a lot of passion. He's a big thumper. He's an alpha. He's a leader. He's the man there. Anybody you talk to at Auburn, that's the first thing they'll say. He is the man here. So very excited about him. and like we are all our picks today. But those two, right, since we've been talking about them, they're just their energy and their passion. You guys will find out very quickly once they get here that that's what they're all about.
Thanks.
We'll go over to Mark Cook.
Hey, Jason, what would you say is your favorite attribute or skill set that the cornerback out of BYU, Wilcox, will bring to your football team? He talked about playing special teams in college, even being a gunner at times. Is that where you foresee him at, or do you think he can develop into a quality starting cornerback on the field as well?
Well, we definitely see some ability there as a gunner. We liked him as a corner because of his length and his speed, and it fits the profile of the guys that we have here. Our guys are long, have long arms, and can run, and he's going to fit right in with them. He can learn from them and hopefully develop into a good player.
Thank you.
We're going to go back to Steve Isbitz. We have time for a few more.
Jason, can you talk about the trade up for Jalen Darden, maybe how that kind of went down and where you thought he was going to go and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, when we got to that point, fourth round of starting the day, we were a little worried about him making it to us at the back end of the fourth. So didn't want to do anything crazy to get all the way up to the top because we wanted to save some of our picks for some of these guys that we targeted and got in the latter part of the draft. But we felt at the time it was right. We were a little worried about a couple teams in front of us that were looking for returners or looking for speed receivers. So, you know, you never know for sure if somebody's going to take it. Bruce and I and our staff felt he was the type of guy that was worth, you know, spending an extra draft pick to go up and get. So we've had that feeling about a few guys over the years, and most of them have worked out, and hopefully he's no different.
And last year with Tristan Wirfs and Winfield, they really seemed like the ultimate plug and play kind of guys. Do you feel that any of these guys that you sort of have a plug and play type who may be a little more ready than a typical rookie?
Well, you know, it's all going to depend on when they get here and what we see with them in our environment here. But I was just talking to Bruce as I was heading down here, and we feel like all of these guys have a legit shot of making our football team in a special teams role or what have you. So we feel very good about them. We think there's a chance that Darden could be our returner. He's going to have to compete for it. There's a chance that Grant, you know, comes in and makes an impression on us right away as a special teams guy that we don't want to let go. So those are just two examples, but we feel good about all of them right now making our football team. Now, if that happens, you know, that's yet to be seen, but right now we feel pretty good about it.
Thank you.
We'll go to Greg Allman.
So there, I mean, obviously you guys were able to address what you wanted with your picks. Are there positions in particular you think you'll be active with undrafted free agents that would be a match for what's left on your roster?
Yeah, we have to sign. We ideally would like to get, you know, the 85 or 90 players for camp. It's a little bit different this year. There's not as many players, it seems, to go off of, and there's still 32 teams fighting for them. So the full roster may not be set. The 90 players may not be set here for a couple weeks. So we'll see. We'll go back and look at some guys that are on the street. We'll probably have some workouts coming up. We're in no rush to do it. So we're in no rush tonight to get to 90.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, our last one will come from Josh Allen.
Hey, Jason, just wanted to ask you, this defense kind of was skewed a little bit. I mean, this draft is kind of skewed to the defensive side, but you guys didn't take a defensive tackle. Was that more of a product of what you called it, like a weakness in the class, or was that just comfortability with the guys you had on the roster already?
A little bit of both. We're very comfortable with what we have. That's why we re-signing Nacho and Stevie. We could kind of foresee that there weren't as many this year, defensive linemen. So I'm glad we did that. So it was a little bit of both, but I would say it leans more towards the fact that we feel very, very good about our defensive line right now.
Thank you. Congratulations on a good draft.
Appreciate it.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks, Jason.
Cheers, guys.